Alright, what's going on? We're back with some new megas from the new DLC for Pokemon Legend ZA, and today we're going to be analyzing them competitively, creating an impromptu tier list like we did for the previous mega drop, all the new megas that just came in their normal batch of Legend ZA, and we're going to be determining which megas are going to be banned when Generation 10 of Pokemon comes out, and which megas are going to be maybe some PU and U Warriors type beat, like Audino Mega, but it should be a lot of fun. Hope you guys enjoy. If you do, make sure to like and subscribe. And let's go ahead and get started with Mega Raichu X. So, unfortunately, our boy did not get the huge power treatment because his increase in stats is just plus 100. Nothing funky going on there. He has 45 more attack, 40 more defense, which is kind of crazy. That's like Excadrill boost, except Excadrill obviously has like 100 HP. And then 15 in special defense. So, I have bad news, fellas. Because it's not huge power, I'm not sure what ability this guy could get that could save him from being just one of the guys, one of the pure electric type guys that are like, I don't know, mid tiers, like kind of fast, kind of strong, but not really. If it gets Ice Punch, that's a game changer. That would actually make a really big difference if it got like Ice Punch plus like Tough Claws or plus like some kind of offensive boost like Sheer Force or something like that. Then we're cooking. I see people speculate with Galvanize 2 to give it that E-Speed, Extreme Speed, Priority +2, Galvanize Boost, which is really, really strong stab. So that could also be interesting, but then you have the ever looming problem of ground types are just always going to smoke you. 90 special attack is not that much, but maybe Grass Knot or Surf are enough to like break through those ground types and could do something with that. I don't know. It's just worse Zeraora, which we'll be talking about soon. I decided to put that after we talk about the top three, you know who's, because it's really important. But I don't know, it's just worse than Mega Zeraora. Hopefully it gets some really cool ability that can really elevate it, but for now, it's not going to do too well. You can see all the Legend CA Megas here, but obviously we're only going to be ranking the new ones because we've already ranked all the other ones. Maybe we'll do a combined list at some point if that's requested, but for now, I think we're going to start off with Mega Raichu X in mid-tier. Yeah, the tier names, Uber's broken. These are guaranteed to be banned 99% of the time unless they get terrible abilities, I guess. The strongest, the top tier of the OU is what we're going off, singles meta. So think like Charizard X from SMOU. Think like, I don't know, guys like that. Who else is really good? Mega Diancie from SMOU. Those kind of Pokemon, they'll be at the very top of the viability rankings. One of the megas you will always want to have on your team in most situations. Then we have very solid, they're good, like lower end OU megas. Thinking like Mega Slowbro, very solid Mega, but it's not one that you always want to splash on a team because you can just run regular Slowbro. And then you have Mid, which is like probably UU, RU-ish, and then you have Scovillain, spoiler alert, which is going to be like NUPU, so not too viable, similar to Mega Audino, unfortunately. Alright, but next up we have Mega Raichu Y. Mega Raichu Y is actually a Giga Threat. Look at the stat spread. 130 speed, so it got 20 in speed, and it got 70 in special attack. And remember, this thing has access to moves like I said, Surf, Grass Knot, Focus Blast. You can even run some Draining Kiss, Nasty Plot nonsense. Obviously, it has a wasted 10 in attack, because Game Freak can never be that kind to a beloved Pokemon, but it is what it is. This thing is really, really strong. It's comparable to Tapu Koko in electric terrain, without having electric terrain, which is kind of the same because it's pretty likely going to get an offensive ability of some sorts. Speculation is for like Transistor, speculation is for, I don't know, maybe like Sheer Force or some Lightning Rod or something to boost its offensive. Obviously, Lightning Rod isn't really like that, but 160 special attack is definitely insane. And having access to Volt Switch, Surf Focus, Grass Knot, the whole insane abilities and moves and nasty plot. Like this thing is definitely going to be a supreme threat with 130 speed tying things like Mega Lopunny, which is already at a very solid speed tier. So yeah, very hyped for this one. This one is definitely going to be OU upper echelon. So as a result, it will go into the very solid tier. It's probably going to be OU. I would be very, very surprised if it wasn't. I guess it is very frail, but 160 special attack is seriously no joke at all. Like with the amount of speed it has too, like you really can't it's just not bad. It just can't be bad unless it just has like a illuminate or like a do nothing ability. Bad ability might make it not so good, but yeah. All right, next up we have Chimecho. Finally said that correct because it's a chime and echo is a sound. I know I called it Chimecho in the past, and I'm sorry to all the biggest Chimecho fans out there, but rejoice because it's about to get hype. Steel Psychic typing, potentially with Levitate, gets a 30 boost in the defenses over here. Oh, I don't know why my mouse didn't show up. 30 in the defenses, 40 in special attack. Absolutely insane. This was actually really close to what we predicted the stats array would be. I actually expected it to lose some speed to get even more in defenses. I think I said like 120, 120, like 55 speed, minus 10. But this is super, super crazy. I don't think it's going to be like god tier per se, but I think it's going to have a really strong niche, especially if it retains Levitate or some other defensive ability. The streets are saying they want Steelium Noise or something like that, where like because Chimecho is one of the only Pokemon that has access to Boom Burst, people really wanted to get a Steel type Boom Burst using its ability. That would be really sick. I would be really hyped for that. It would actually be really, really strong too. Like I said, 135 special attack. That's a lot of special attack. But even if it keeps Levitate, it's like the best Kyurem in the game. It's basically Bronzong with Recover, right? With Calm Mind, Stored Power. I mean, Bronzong can do that too, but not with Recover. But yeah, really, really solid. I'm very excited for this one. I think it can really make some waves. Excuse me, still recovering from this cold that has been ongoing for a long time now throughout my videos, but gotta do what you gotta do. I actually think it's gonna be very solid. I think if it gets Levitate, and if it gets a Steeliate, like Boom Burst thing, it can be lower OU. It's not going to be one of the best Megas, but it'll have a very solid defensive niche, especially with Levitate. Steel Psychic, very, very good typing. Think of like Metagross and Bronzong, who have been at the top of OU like in the far past, you know, stuff like that. Very solid typing, especially if it gets Levitate, because it has Recover. And that's the big difference between it and previous Steel Psychics, is they never got Recover, which is a really big deal. All right, we have one of the first Z Mega Pokemon. Absolutely ridiculous stuff from Absol Z. I'm so very happy because Absol is one of my favorite Pokemon. Absol Mega was one of my favorite Pokemon too. But look at that 40 in special attack. They snubbed. But they made the right decision this time. It gets 24 in attack. That's not the hype part though. 24 in attack. And then all it gets is 76 in speed. Like, this is fucking crazy. 151 speed Mega Absol, and it's a ghost type. Like, this thing is not to be messed with. And my prediction for the Z Megas is they're gonna get some kind of Beast Boost ability, which is a little lame, but it's gonna be broken because Photosynthesis and Beast Boost were broken. Like something like that, you know, where they're like very special, unique Pokemon that aren't very common, so they share a similar trait. That's kind of my guess, but it could get Tough Claws, it could get something insane like that. We'll have to just wait and see. But there's no way this stat spread can be bad, just offensively speaking. Like, this is basically like Deoxys attack in terms of offenses. Slightly more defense, but you know, this thing still gets OHKO'd by like Landorus, Earthquake, and stuff like that. So it's really not going to be eating hits. But Swords Dance, Iron Tail, Close Combat, Knockoff, Sucker Punch, Shadow Sneak. Hopefully it gets Poltergeist. Fingers crossed. I'm crossing my fingers right now, but we don't know if it will. If it does get Poltergeist, you wouldn't run Knockoff, obviously, Anti-Synergy, etc., etc. But this thing is definitely going to be insane. 150 in each attack and speed is so ridiculous, and I'm so proud of my guy Absol. I really hope we get to mess around with it in Gen 10 Overuse before it gets banned, but you know we'll be pulling up with this in Pokemon Champions 100%. So, pretty obviously, it's going to be Uber's broken. Like, come on now. It has to have a very useless ability. And even then, the stat spread, the offensive capabilities might just be too much for any tier to handle. So we'll see. We'll see. I hope we get to use it for a bit at least, because I'm a really big fan. And the design is so epic and sick that I really hope it can stay around. But if it's too broken, it's too broken. What can you do about it? Next up, we have Mega Staraptor. One of the snubs, I would say, actually, in terms of stat distribution. It got the Pyroar treatment a little bit, like plus 20 in attack. Are we fucking for... Sorry, apologies for my language, but are we for real right now? 20 in attack. This, like Blunder said, this was the normal flying type starter Pokemon that made it out. He was actually good. It actually got banned from some tiers because it was really, really strong. It's actually usable, but it's fine. It became a fighting type instead of a normal type. Plus 20 boost in attack, 30 in defense. That's a lot. Like 85, 100 is a lot of bulk. 10, yeah, whatever, waste in special attack, 30 in special defense, and only 10 in speed. Like, if they min-max Staraptor like I originally expected them to, this thing would be an absolute menace. But for Staraptor fans out there, or normal flying type fans out there, don't give up just yet. It's still possible with Tough Claws. Staraptor is like the claw bird Pokemon, so surely it gets something of a similar capacity, but I don't know. It gets access to knockoff, close combat, brave bird, U-turn, double edge. I guess you wouldn't use double edge, but the other moves are very, very strong. And also something really cool about this is if you run Final Gambit Staraptor, and like, or I mean, you have like a, what am I trying to say? You like disguise your Mega as Staraptor, because who's running regular Staraptor? And then you run actually Final Gambit instead as a lead as they switch into their Pokemon that's like a physical tank, like a Slowbro or something, to eat what it could eat from a normal Staraptor Mega. They get Final Gambited, they blow up, you win the game because their physical wall is down. That could be really heat. Like that's a strategy that can employ. Now that we have so many Megas, masking Megas is actually going to be part of the Mega, and that'll be really, really exciting. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely going to be solid. I'm pretty confident it'll be solid, even though it's really slow comparatively to the rest of the metagame and the rest of the Megas. I still think it'll be solid because it's pretty bulky, and it's going to be really strong and surely get like an offensive ability. As a result, I think it'll be pretty solid. Like, I think it'll probably be bottom of OU, is my guess. Like, it'll be like one of those Megas that you can use, but it's not going to be like a game changer. It's not going to be like what wins you the game by being a Mega. It's just going to be strong, and it's going to be really hard to switch into, so that should be cool. Alright, next up we have the other two Mega Z Pokemon. Mega Garchomp Z, sick design by the way. It's everything we wanted from Garchomp Mega, personally at least. Very clearly like a flying motif, so it lost the ground type, spread its wings, started flying. I don't know why it's not flying type, or ground type even, given that, but whatever. Well, let's talk about this. Pure Dragon loses, no, it doesn't lose attack. It keeps its attack, loses some defense, gets a 61 boost. 61 boost, by the way, 80 to 141. 61 boost special attack, and then it gets a ridiculous 49 boost. Wait, no, that doesn't make sense. Wait, no, okay, it does. I was gonna say that adds to 110, but I forgot they lose defense. Yeah, 49 boost in speed, so it's same speed as Mega Absol. Notably faster than Alakazam. I should have mentioned that for Absol. Faster than Alakazam. Probably gonna have some ridiculous ability. Has access to Nasty Plot. I don't know if it'll keep it for Gen 10, because Legends, what's it called? Legends of Arceus had the same thing where Gardevoir got Ice Beam and lost it when it came to Gen 9, so don't really know, but I mean, still 151 speed, 141 special attack, 180 HP with this bulk, very, very solid. No longer 4 times weak to ice, but you lose a lot of resistances. Can still Swords Dance, have 130 attack, can still Swords Dance. This thing is definitely going to be a menace. I think if it doesn't have a Nothing Burger ability, it's surely going to be broken. It's surely going to be in Ubers, and it's going to be really, really hard to stop once it gets going, as Garchomp deserves. Absolute unit of a Pokemon. Shouts to Garchomp. Okay, so now we have the actual GOAT, by the way. The actual best Pokemon possible. Yeah, I think out of all of these Megas, this is definitely the best Mega. Lucario Mega Z. Look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this. No changes to attack, or I mean minus 10 attack, so you get plus 10 more to mess around with. Plus 0 for defense. Plus 49 in special attack, because why not? 164 base special attack, plus 61 in speed. So it's also one of the 151s. I don't know why Pokemon is doing that. I guess 151 is like the original Pokemon, so it's like a nice number for them. But this thing was advertised with the Clawitzer, so people really think it's going to be Mega Launcher focused, especially because Lucario has access to moves like Aura Sphere, like Dark Pulse, those kind of Aura, like, what is the, like, Ball Sphere moves, or whatever it's called? Either way, It's definitely going to be insane. It's definitely going to be really broken on release. Unless, I mean, even if it has a nothing burger ability, like this is such an insane stat spread. 164, 151. Like you just can't make this up. So with all that said, I think it will be at the top of Uber's Burger. I think this will be the order. Obviously, abilities will change this up, but generally speaking, you can definitely expect these three to be the absolute best megas in the entire Legends EA DLC. Alright, so now that we talked about those three, we can finally talk about the mythicals that are also getting megas. Zeraora, Heatran, and Darkrai. So Zeraora got a pretty sizable attack increase, sizable special attack increase. No bulk, which is unfortunate. Bulk would have really made it super nasty, but 10 speed. So just a pretty min-max Pokemon, except they decide to split the special attack and attack to keep it a little more balanced. And the important thing about 153 speed Zeraora is it's faster than Absol, faster than Garchomp, faster than Lucario, has access to super effective moves versus all of them. Play rough, bulk up, for example, close combat, drain punch, blaze kick for Lucario. Just Plasma Fist will OHKO Absol with 157 attack, I'm sure. This thing is going to be the best way to keep the other guys in check, but I don't think it's enough. Unfortunately, Zeraora doesn't have access to things like Ice Punch. If it got Ice Punch, Ubers. Ubers instantly. One of the best Pokemon ever. Zeraora Mega. Welcome to Ubers. But it wasn't leaked. It wasn't leaked to get Ice Punch, so unfortunately my boy is going to remain just in OU. Probably at the top, because, you know, this is a pretty insane stat spread. Like, I talk about all these min-max stat spreads of, like, 150 plus in an offensive stat, and then 150 plus speed. Like, excuse me, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy, trust me. Faster than Alakazam, faster than Arrow, who were the kings of speed in OU back in the day. Now we got Heatran. I'll rank them all together at the end because I think they'll all be in very similar spots. This thing is an absolute unit. Gets 30 attack, which is, you know, it's okay. It's not the end of the world. A whopping 45 special attack, whopping 35 special defense, and then minus 10 speed, which is kind of a bummer because its speed tier was actually kind of nice, being faster than base 70s, like Breloom and stuff like that, but I can't ask for too much. This thing I think will be an absolute unit. If you haven't seen the animation for it, he'd be like eating. Like that's his whole motif. He's like more magma'd out. He'd be eating something. Earth Eater, you know what I'm saying? If it gets Earth Eater, it might be Ubers, but probably not. I just don't think you can go wrong with Heatran Mega. Like, it's just such a ridiculous tank. 141 special defense. Magma Storm is impossible to switch into, by the way. Like, all those bulky waters, Slowking, Toxapex, Feeny that want to pivot in. Yeah, nice Scald for 25% to my 141 base special defense. Or nice Surf for Scald or whatever is allowed in Gen 10. This thing is going to be an absolute beast. But obviously, the point of Heatran is you have to hit Mega, or not Mega, you have to hit Magma Storm. If you don't hit Magma Storm, you're flipping burgers. Nothing wrong with flipping burgers, though. But, yeah, I mean, you just have to hit Magma. Unless it gets some other moves, unless it becomes like a Trick Room, like Eruption, it gets Eruption back, then we're talking. But if you have to hit Magma, it's always going to lower your viability because Magma is like the most broken move in the game, but it has 75% accuracy. And then of this trio, we have Darkrai last. Darkrai lost 40 speed to absolute bulk max. Get a giant increase in attack and special attack too. Very interesting Pokemon. And apparently Dark Void is being reworked because they realized it's literally just worse than Hypnosis, which Darkrai has access to. Doesn't make sense at all. So they're reworking it. It's becoming a drain move. So it's probably going to have 8 BP or 8 PP as well. It's going to be like an 80 power drain move like Giga Drain. And then it's going to do more damage if your opponent is sleeping. So it's like, it's kind of like Venoshock in that way, except it starts out a little bit stronger than Venoshock. And I think the best set for this is probably going to be some tanky, like max defense Darkrai. Because the speed is really terrible now. Like, this is a huge drop in speed. It's really going to hurt its offensive prowesses in terms of, like, Nasty Plot Sweep. But it can become a bulky sweeper instead with Nasty Plot, Dark Void. Maybe, like, Sludge Bomb or Thunder Wave as, like, the last move. Being a bulky sweeper. Oh, Will-O-Wisp, actually. I remember talking in my Discord. Join the Discord in the description down below, by the way, if you want to hang out, vibe a little bit. But I remember showing a calc where Zamazenta, if it switches in on Will-O-Wisp to Mega Darkrai, you can actually Nasty Plot in front of its face, and then Dark Void will heal you out of burned close combat range, which is fucking crazy. 130 defense. Don't sleep on this guy. Even though he's slow, he's terrifying. Look up the animation for him when you can. He's terrifying. All right, so with all that, I think, sorry, I have to find them real quick, but I think Darkrai is the second best one. I think Heatran is probably the worst one of them all, but they're still going to be really top tier. Like, these are definitely going to be some of the best megas. It's just Heatran is the worst of the best, which is not a terrible place you want to be in as a Pokemon. Am I right? All right, returning to the list. We have Golurk Mega, and it's not looking good for Golurk Mega, guys. Only 35 in attack, 0 in speed, plus 15 special attack. Are we fucking serious? Is this how he goes out? This guy that's said to be faster than jet planes can learn the move Fly. This is what we're doing to him? Welcome to RU, buddy. Welcome to NU, Mega Golurk. And maybe if it gets adaptability, it can be a Trick Room God or Rock Polish God. But like, guys, please help me. Next up, we have Meowstic Mega. Pretty min-maxed. 60 special attack, 20 speed, 20 special defense. Kind of what you want. You want your best stats to be the ones that increase. So it makes sense. They made it an offensive god, which is very wrong for my prediction. I thought it'd be a tank god. However, it doesn't make sense because it gets rocks, toxic spikes, all that stuff. But I mean, it's definitely going to be good. 124 speed is quite fast. 143 special attack is really strong. As we talked about Raichu having 160, this is pretty close to that. And it's a Psychic type. It has access to Moonblast and Earth Power. Nasty Plot. This thing will be a menace. This thing will be very good for sure. Not much more to say about it. Pretty interesting design. I wish they had different mega forms for the different Pokemon, because they're basically different Pokemon, but it is what it is. It's probably at the top, very solid, or like maybe right below Raichu. I still think Raichu is going to be really ridiculous. Next up, have Mr. Crabominable Mega. 25 attack, minus 10 speed, and then almost 50 defense. 45 defense and 30 special defense. Honestly, that's good stat distribution. However, it's still Crabominable. Unlike other people though, I'm actually a believer. I think this thing can be really good. Has access to Mach Punch now, bulk up. So if it gets some kind of defensive ability perhaps, it's definitely going to be pretty nasty. If it gets an offensive one, that's going to be really hard to switch into. Like, ice fighting is really strong. Gets Earthquake. Gets access to like dark moves too, Thunder Punch, things like that. This thing will definitely rule the lower tiers. So Mega Golisopod is an interesting one. Bug Steel instead of Bug Water. Very interesting typing. It looks more like a Steel Samurai than it did before, I guess, where it was more like a water creature bug thing. 25 attack, 35 defense, 30 special defense. Very big, and then, you know, gotta waste it. Gotta waste the stats, because Game Freak is fucking evil, but it's okay. We love them for who they are. Sorry, I don't know I'm talking like this. I think this will be really good, though, because Bug Steel is basically Scizor. If you compare this to Mega Scizor, it has more attack, or it has the same attack, more defense, less speed, way more special defense. It doesn't have access to Swords Dance. I mean, does have access to Swords Dance. It doesn't have access to Bullet Punch, Stab. It might though, who knows, but it does have First Impression. It does have U-Turn now. It does have Aqua Jet, which is probably not going to be used, but this thing is definitely really solid. It's going to be a trade machine. Like, these defenses are truly nothing to be scoffed at. Like, imagine sending your Great Tusk on a Swords Dance, and then you do Headlong Rush for like 40%. They +2 Leech Life, all that back up, and then Aqua Jet you at the end. You know, something like that. Like, it's going to be pretty good. It's going to be OU for sure, I think. I'd be very surprised if it was in UU. Like, Mega Scizor would never be in UU. And it might get a nice offensive ability like Tinted Lens and basically just be better low kicks. Or it might get like Tough Claws too, because, you know, he do be having sharp edges and shit like that. Maybe sharpness too, like, who knows. I feel like it'll very likely get an offensive ability, but if it gets a defensive one like Regenerator, oh boy, we're cooking. Regen U-turn on Mega Golisopod. Stop the count. Stop the count. I think it's gonna be ridiculous. But from the knowledge that we currently have, I think it'll be around here. Maybe around Meowstic. Maybe I'll move Chimecho a little bit down. Do you remember how I said those were the top 3? Absol, Garchomp, and what's his face? Lucario? I lied. It's actually Mega Magearna, because look at this. 30 speed, 40 special attack, 30 attack. So nothing in defenses. That's the saving grace. That's what like holds this back a little bit, that it didn't get more defenses. But what 30 speed does is Shift Gear now doesn't have to run speed investment to outspeed things, or you just need to run very minimally. Now you can max in special attack and HP, or attack and special attack, and become mixed. I don't know why they gave it a Mega, but this thing will definitely be really good, because Mage alone with no item is still ban worthy in OU. Like you make a clause that doesn't let us use any item in SVOU right now, still banned 100%. So unfortunately, have fun playing with Mega Magearna in the first day of Gen 10 OU release. You will not be seeing them again unless they get like a really troll ability. Okay, it's not actually on this list, so I don't. Okay, we're just not. I guess we just want to include. Just know that it is actually behind Lucario for me and above Absol, in my opinion. Also, I'm so ready to be proven wrong on a lot of these megas. I would invite being proven wrong, because I think that would be really hype if I was just wrong about everything and they were actually much better than I thought. That would be really, really cool. Like Scovillain, who has 30 attack, 30 special attack, and then 20 defenses. This is the new Pyroar. Instead of plus 20 to everything, you just don't get speed. This is the Scovillain, the Golurk, in fact. But yeah, it's going to need a really busted ability. I'm just going to say it straight up. It's going to need a really, really good ability. It's very frail. It's not too fast. It's really strong, but let's just reflect about Scovillain. This thing is in PU right now, maybe even ZU, and it's going to stay there. It might move up to NU. It might be the Mega the NU runs and it just destroys NU. Who knows, but probably not. Maybe it gets Contrary, so you can overheat, Leaf Storm. Maybe it gets Chlorophyll plus Drought, so you get the speed boost and the power boost. I don't know, but not feeling too good about it. Not feeling too good. All right, next we have Glimmora. So my consensus on this, we'll go over the stats right now. 35 attack for no reason, thanks Game Freak. 15 defense, or no, 25 defense, 20 special attack, 15 special defense, 15 speed. My idea is that why would you run Mega Glimmora when you can just run Sash Glimmora and lead it, or Red Card Glimmora, control with Toxic Debris. I mean, it might get Toxic Debris still, but you could also run Meteor Beam Glimmora base if you're feeling offensive. Like, I don't really see a point in running this, but it is faster than base 100 speeds now with 101 speed. Faster than Great Tusk. You can OHKO it with Energy Ball or Dazzling Gleam probably. It does have that. Has a stronger Mortal Spin for zero reason at all. I just don't think it's gonna be OU because it's Glimmora, but I just don't think you're gonna run this. Like, there's no reason to use this. Like, I think this will be worse than Raichu and Meowstic, but because it's Glimmora, it has to be high up. I think it's worse than Staraptor in terms of having a Mega on your team meant to do a specific job of being strong. It is what it is. It's a shame. It's truly a shame. Next we have Tatsugiri, plus 15 attack, shouts Game Freak, plus 30 defense, that's welcome, plus 15 in special attack, okay, sure, plus 30 in special defense, why? Plus 10 in speed, why only? If this had 10 more speed, and then take that off the special defense or attack, like, come on now, or more special attack, like, come on now. But I think because Tatsugiri itself has like a really insane ability in the commander thing, right, with Dondozo, it's probably going to get a really insane ability on its own as the Mega, so that could really elevate it. Also, Dragon Water is a fantastic typing. So many resistances, only weak to Dragon and Fairy types. Hazak's Nasty Plot, a way to boost your speed with Rapid Spin, controlling hazards with Rapid Spin, Surf, Hydro Pump, Draco. It's probably not going to be bad. It's probably just not going to be like God tier OU. Its ability can really save it though, so we'll see what happens. I'll put it below Chimecho, I think. Finally, we have Bax. You know, they figured it out. They figured out a way to not make Bax an instant Ubers, only giving it 30 attack, which is surprising. The 25 in defense is very nice with Hail Up. The 30 in special attack. Yeah, I knew this would happen. I think I predicted this like very similarly, except more speed. And then they get 15 in defense, or special defense. So it's like a lot bulkier, but would you rather run Mega Baxcalibur, or would you rather run Choice Band, or Loaded Dice, Swords Dance, or Resist Berry Baxcalibur, or Boots Baxcalibur? Like, the issue is because it's Bax, it's gonna be really good and probably banned, but original Bax might actually be better than new Bax. If it got more speed, that's all it needs. 5 speed even, 10 speed, that's all it needs. But fortunately, or fortunately, if you're a Bax fan and you want to use it, then Game Freak didn't make it as broken as they could have. They gave it the Mega Garchomp treatment, which is honestly pretty impressive. But because it's Bax, it has to be one of the strongest. It'll be next to Heatran probably. So yeah, that's my comprehensive list with Magearna around Absol-ish range. These guys, I would be so shocked if they were somehow not broken. These are ones I'm so confident on. Like, come on, they have to be. I would love to be surprised about any of the very solid Scovillains that they're even better than I thought, and it all comes down to ability, so make sure to stay tuned for that. When abilities come out, we will be revisiting the entire Mega tier list and revising it, so that should be a lot of fun. If you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe. I'll catch you later. Peace, much love, and take care. I'll see you very soon.